Okay. So,
I think Mr. Chiu wants
Mr.
to
Chiu,
speak and the
please.
council of the Chongs.
Mr. Chu, sir. Mr. Chu first.
Your Honor, just for clarification, all the subpoenas were answered accordingly, and if I may be allowed to submit a statement in due of time to the subcommittee for update on everything which may help the honorable senators to understand the situation.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, no, Mr. Chiu made certain promises here. Then you went on media and you said, since ginaganito ka ng committee, hindi ka na mag-appear. Then you refused to appear. So it's not true that you were fully cooperating. You were fully cooperating until your last appearance here. Then you went on media and said na hindi na. But before you said that sa media and you were here, you promised to give us copies of return check and tax declaration, summary of when all payments to Mr. Gregorio are due, board approval of sale and payment, due diligence report, tax declaration titles examined during due diligence care of Attorney Subido, lease contract over stable hotel, provide name of caretaker who keeps their fighting cocks in Hacienda Binay, names of school guests who visited Samchamp, and financial documents of the company.
Your Honor, bawat isang subpoena meron pong sagot ang aking legal counsel, pero wala po akong natatanggap na reply from the subcommittee.
Okay, that's because, Mr. Chiu, you promised here that you will give it. And then afterwards, you went on media and say, binabastos naman ako ng committee, ginaganito naman ako and everything, bakit pa magko-cooperate? Then, we subpoenaed you. Then you gave us a legal answer. You did not give us the documents we were asking for.
Your Honor, you have to understand that currently I have pending cases with various government agencies, and under constitutional right, I have the right against self-incrimination as advised by my legal counsel. So I don't think the Senate is a proper forum to present these evidences.
Yes. Well, that is your right to think that, but your thinking is wrong, Mr. Chiu, because there's a difference between what the courts and the criminal courts will be doing and the Senate. So yes, you can invoke your constitutional right of refusing to answer questions because it might incriminate yourself. But no, you cannot ignore the subpoenas or refuse to go here. That is settled in our jurisprudence that even those who are accused should go here. So we in the military, General Garcia, General Ligot were accused. Cases were in the Ombudsman. Ms. Napoles came here despite having cases pending. But it is your right to answer that you refuse to answer because it might incriminate yourself. No, that is your constitutional right. But whether or not you think this is the proper forum is irrelevant because the law is what the law is. And the law says when you are subpoenaed and you are compelled to come to the Senate, you come to the Senate. But we cannot compel you to answer this way or that way, no? But you can claim any constitutional right. So are we of that understanding, Mr. Chiu?
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I'm here voluntarily. And just to make the statement clear, I have never avoided any subpoena. If I'm not available or I decided not to come here for whatever legal reasons, it is properly attended by my legal counsel.
Yes, Mr. Chiu, but you have a reputation of saying something sa media and doing the opposite. So right here in front of us, you told Senator Trillanes, anytime pumunta kayo doon. Pagpunta doon kasama media, ayaw silang papasukin. And then nung pinapasok, hindi dapat kasama media. And then nung pinapasok, only this time at hindi ka pwedeng pumunta doon. And you also said that anytime you will go here, that you will come next. But every hearing, there's an excuse, no? That's why eventually we had to issue the subpoena and eventually the order to arrest. But you are here already. That's why we are asking, no? Will we hold you here or will you commit that if we have a hearing, you will be here? We are reasonable. Of course, if you're out of the country, you're doing something. But sa dami niyong witness, kung bawat isa sa inyo susundin natin schedule, kausapin niyo si Vice President. Siya ang umaangal dahil hindi tayo matapos. Kami, hindi naman kami umaangal. But siya ang umaangal. But it's because you haven't been appearing, no? So that was my simple question now. Would you commit to appear in the next hearing, and we will have a mutually acceptable date, and we will tell you the topic so that we can clarify the issues concerning you and your company?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no intention to avoid the cooperation with the Senate.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
But I'm sure Mr. Chiu knows the topic that you are expected to testify on. It is the Rosario Batangas property and Sunchamp's claimed ownership. And because you volunteered the information that you made payments, that's why the subcommittee wants the proof of the payment. That is what we're asking you, because that came from you, that you made an 11 million payment. And actually, there will be another question, because in your testimony last year, you said that by the end of this year, referring to last year, December, you would be making a 400 million peso payment. So we will be asking you, did you make that payment? And if it's yes, can you prove it?
Yes, Your Honor. The answers were already provided in our reply to the subcommittee this morning.
Okay. And lastly, is it clear to your counsel that the right against self-incrimination pertains to your testimony and does not apply to the documents that we are requesting? Because these are corporate documents, and this is not testimony against yourself, and that is very well settled and clear. The DOTC during GMA's time had cases against ZTE, but we subpoenaed the contract, and even them submitted the contract. Of course, for example, if we subpoena a bank account and you say that you have a right under the bank secrecy law, that is another defense that, of course, we will follow the law. But is it clear to you and your counsel that that is the case? Because if you are going to refuse to submit what you have committed to submit, for example, the appraisal, the due diligence study, that is not covered. That's not covered by your constitutional right against self-incrimination, because we're not asking you to testify against yourself. We're asking you to submit an official document that was submitted to your company.
Your Honor, just to clarify, I'm fully cooperative, except that right now we're bound by the cases against various government agencies, including the Anti-Money Laundering Council for falsification and creating malicious and wrong statement against me. So that includes Sunchamp, for your information.
I'm explaining to you, Mr. Chiu, there is no conflict between submitting to those agencies and those investigative bodies the documents they're asking for and submitting to us, because this is in aid of legislation, and that is criminal or administrative prosecution. That is cleared in jurisprudence, because if you want to avoid being held in contempt, you have to follow the law. So so I read to you, for example, tax declarations and titles used during due diligence, that is not testifying against yourself. There is no law, there's no constitutional right that you can use to say that you will not submit that to us. You can submit that to the court as your defense, but that is also to us. Diba? It is not testifying against yourself.
Noted, Your Honor. The subcommittee can write to me whatever you want, and my legal counsel will prepare accordingly in accordance with the limits of the law.
We'll follow the process, but I am just expediting it by telling you and your counsel, diba, that do not try to misinterpret the law or to change the law, because we don't want to have to subpoena people or have to arrest people or have to hold people in contempt. Marami kaming trabaho dito. Hindi lang natitibi 80% ng trabaho namin. So, if it is a valid right, it is a right given to you by law or the Constitution, by all means we will respect it, Mr. Chiu. But if it is inimbento, to try to conceal from this committee vital documents, diba? We will not stand for that. I think you understand that, and I hope you understand that, sir.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chiu referred to a letter this morning, but that's actually dated yesterday, but received this morning. But it did not resolve anything, because you said I am constrained not to submit the required documents. So why can you not submit a proof of payment when you yourself volunteered the information that you paid?
Your Honor, Sanchamp is included in the freeze order as executed by Anti-Money Laundering Council. And because of the pending case, we are constrained not to be able to provide any information because this refers to bank transactions.
Anyway, Mr. President,
Anyway,
Mr. Chairman, precisely my point. They are misrepresenting the law in the face of the public because ang ating karapatan sa batas, you cannot testify against yourself or to be made a witness against yourself. But corporate documents, it is settled in jurisprudence that these documents can be subpoenaed, can be provided, and if it's used against you, it's not you providing it, but the corporation. It's a separate juridical entity. Anyway, Mr. President, then I will move for the proper and ask the committee to subpoena. And let me just read this part of our rules. The filing or pendency of any prosecution or criminal or administrative action shall not stop or abate any inquiry to carry out a legislative purpose. Let me give you a ridiculous example, Mr. Chair. Halimbawa ako iimbestiga, may korporasyon ako, iimbestigahan ako ng Senado. Ang sasabihin ko sa isang abogado, pailan mo ako ng kaso para hindi na ako mag-a-appear sa Senado at hindi ko na rin ibibigay lahat ng dokumento. So that the law sees through that. So what the Constitution and the law gives you, sir, is that you will not be made a witness against yourself. You will not be compelled. You'll not be compelled to testify against yourself. But being here and submitting the documents, very clear yan. Unless you can point to another law, that exempts you or gives you the right not to submit. For example, the bank secrecy law. But I will just give a narration of the documents we need, Mr. Chair, and we can ask to subpoena. Then you can question that before the court. But under existing jurisprudence, it is very clear that these documents cannot be that you cannot refuse to submit these documents just because there is a criminal case or a investigation ongoing, Mr. Chair. Yes, maybe we can just consolidate
because Mr. Chiu has been issued numerous subpoenas, so we will list down in one subpoena all the documents that we need. So one more chance for compliance, Mr. Chiu. But Mr. Chiu, did you in fact pay the 400 million before the end of last year?
Your Honor, actually, sinagot naman natin sa letter na because of the Senate hearing, the further payments were delayed, but we continue to operate in the Sanchamp Agritourism Park.
No, the answer is no. Okay.
So, Chiu, have you seen Mr.
Laureano
Gregorio recently, or are you in touch with him?
Not recently, Your Honor.
But to make the payments, someone has to be in touch with him, correct?
There has been no payment.
Yeah, but to make the payments,
the lawyer and the lawyers of both parties are the one transacting.
And there's one law firm handling both, the Subido Binay Law Office, correct?
Subido Law Firm is my legal counsel for this transaction.
And for Mr. Gregorio Laureano?
There's another lawyer in the name of Attorney Fournier, not the same attorney.
May we call them also, Mr. Chair, because I think the committee cannot locate Mr. Laureano Gregorio, and to the knowledge of the committee at this point in time, he's not capable of accumulating that amount of property, much less to be able to sell it and to consolidate that much piece of land. But lastly, Mr. Chiu, so you're not so you're pursuing the contract. You're not rescinding the contract with Mr. Gregorio?
Not yet, because under the terms, as long as he cannot deliver the titles, further payments would be halted.
Until when?
Well, we will have to wait until at least this Senate committee hearing is over.
Pero wala kayong date? Usually, may date yan. Kung hindi ma-deliver by this time, solian na yan.
Well, it has to be mutually agreed.
Yes.
At the later stage.
But usually, may date
as per our
wala.
agreement.
So, because as you probably read in the news and saw in the committee, part of your property now belongs to Vice Mayor Mercado. So how can you own and pay Mr. Laureano when he has the title to part of the property, which he donated? Vice Mayor, you've donated it or you've turned it over to the Philippine government? Correct?
Oo. Kaya nga ho ako nagtataka na i-claim ni Mr. Chiu na nabili niya yun kay Mr. Gregorio. Ako ho walang pinipirmahang anumang authority kay Mr. Gregorio. At yun hong lupa kung nakapangalan sa akin, nandun ho sa loob ng kanyang 150 hectares na kiniklaim.
So kung papasok ho kayo, hindi kayo trespassing dahil sa inyo yun?
Hindi po. Kaya lang, baka ho hindi ako padaanin naman nung kiniklaim ni Mr. Chiu sa unahan Kasi nasa gitna po yung lote ko Pero hindi ko po ipinagbibili Dinonate ko na nga ho sa Philippine government yun
Mr. Chiu, what's the first name of Mr. Attorney Fournier? Do you know? Or can you send it to the committee so that we can?
Yes, we will provide the appropriate contact details
Yes.
and the name.
But just to answer that last question, so you do not see a problem that your property cannot be delivered to you because one of the owners is here before you?
Well, if the titles are not delivered, then it won't be paid based on our contract.
And you know that if Vice Mayor Mercado now goes to court or asks for police assistance to go into the property, you cannot stop him because he is the legal owner and titled owner of that area.
Let the court decide on whatever is within the limits of the Philippine law, Your Honor.
Because he is a titled owner. Pag pinigil ka, sila ang may kaso, di ba? So anyway, that is a very curious situation, Mr. Chair. I think, Mr. Chair, the council.
Fournier of the Council for the Chongs. So, you want to say something, Panyero?
With your permission, Your Honors.
Sir, go ahead, sir.
Well, I am aware, Your Honors, that both under our Constitution, the Congress or any House can conduct inquiries in aid of legislation, provided, however, that the rights of persons called to these inquiries are respected and not impaired. That is why, Your Honor, insofar as the Chongs are concerned, we are willing, Chongs are willing to cooperate, Your Honor, and to attend a meeting specially called for the purpose of hearing them out. But may we request, Your Honors, that in order to assist them also and also to assist the committee in knowing what exactly you want, would you be able to submit or give to the Chongs the information specifically want maybe by asking specific questions?
Mr. Chair, if I may, no? Mahirap, Panyero, yung specific questions. Pero alam nyo naman yung question kung napanood nyo yung hearings, no? And we can give you a transcript, no? Unang-unang, sinabi ni Vice Mayor, yung property sa Comembo ay isa sa may-ari si Ms. Erlinda Chong, pero hindi naman talaga sa kanya yon at ginamit lang ang pangalan niya ni Vice President. And question din ni Vice Mayor yung paraan na makuha yung property. Number 2, ay sinasabi na ang isa naming kasamahan senador dito ay kasama sa pagsusupply ng cakes sa mga senior citizen at ginagamit nga yung isang bake shop na ang sinasabi is sole proprietor ay si Miss Erlinda Chong ba? Erlinda Chong, no? Pangatlo, na lumabas sa media recently ay meron pong catering service na magkasama si Junjun Binay, si Abby Binay, si Nancy Binay at ang pamilya Chong, no? So the questions will revolve around that. Sa aking maybe the Vice Mayor can elaborate quickly, but ang aking pagkaintindi sa sinasabi mo kanina, biktima, hindi sila, ang parang sinasabi mo, Vice, hindi sila kasama sa conspiracy ng pangungurap, pero dummies sila o ginagamit pa. I did not get, I don't want to use the legal term, no? That's why I want the Vice Mayor to clarify. What do you mean by biktima at nagagamit sila? So that our kumpanyero can prepare for it.
Kaya ako ipinagtatanggol yung pamilya Chong. Kilala ko ho sila na lehitimo naman silang negosyante. Kaya lang, dun ho sa takbo ng dokumento kung paano inayos yung titulo na yun sa Comembo, sa batas po kasi ng DNR, hindi po pwedeng applyan ng isang pribadong tao o ng isang pribadong kumpanya yung lupa do sa area na yun na hihigit sa 300 metro kwadrado. Limitado po yun under ng Presidential Proclamation 2475. Nadinig ko nga ho kanina, nandyan yung dalawang representative ng DNR National Capital Region. At pwede ho nilang patunayan yun na hindi pwedeng magkatitulo yun more than 300 square meter. Kaya ho ang ginawa doon muna, lease contract. Yun ho nilease ng Miriras Realty, pero may batas din ho na after 5 years, pwedeng i-convert yung lease into sale. Kaya nga ho doon ko sinasabi na ginamit yung pangalan ni Mrs. Erlinda Chong para magkaroon ng titulo yung ganong kalaking lupa na naipangalan kay Mrs. Erlinda Chong. Pero ang nagpapatakbo pa rin ng lahat ng yun, si Mr. Jerry Limlingan pa din. Yun ho ang aking sinasabi.
Just to wrap that up, to answer Compañero's question, no? To correct myself, no, it wasn't Erlinda Chong who is the sole proprietor of Cups and Mugs Kitchenette, but it is Kim Tun Chong. And then dito po sa Millennium Food Chain, ito po ang mga incorporators, Erlinda Chong, Kim Tun Chong, Lilia Chavez, Maria Lourdes Nancy Binay, Marlene Abigail Binay, Jejomar Erwin Binay, and Angelico Salud.
Thank you for that clarification, Your Honor. That's why perhaps may we request a transcript of the stenographic notes of the hearing, and well, in fact, Vice Mayor Mercado specifically stated here that the Chongs are in Tagalog, no, a lehitimo negosyante, which I'm Bisaya, no, so I don't. What would it mean? Legitimate business persons, no. So we appreciate that. That's why, and in fact, Your Honors, as earlier stated by Vice Mayor Mercado, he seems to be the one who is in possession of information regarding, for example, the land. In fact, he was already making a presentation, Your Honor. Perhaps then, Vice Mayor Mercado should be the one who should be the resource person for that particular...
Tapos na, Panyero. Tapos na. He has already given us the basic facts. Okay? Let us use common sense here. Okay? Ang topics ng mga Chong. Meriras Realty. Is that, are you, Mr. Kimsper Chong, is that familiar to you, Meriras Realty? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, research about the Meriras Realty and your ownership of a Comembo property. Okay, Millennium. You know Millennium?
Your Honor,
Yes, Your Honor.
Panyero, let me talk to the resource person.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know it. Okay, research on that. Prepare. Mugs and cups and mugs.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, di ba? So prepare on those 3 topics.
Okay.
That's all.
We are more than willing to cooperate, Your Honors, provided that their constitutional rights are not impaired.
Yes, we will respect the rights, and you're there. We will give you time to advise. But where is Erlinda Chong? I think she is the more knowledgeable of the Chongs. Tama? Who is she? And where is she?
She's my mother.
And where is she?
She's in Hong Kong currently. She's recuperating from a slight fracture and inflammation on her right ankle.
Okay, we will be reasonable. And where is the other Chong who did not sign an undertaking?
Well, my youngest sister po is currently with my mother, helping her out, and the other 2 are currently in the hospital.
That's the
po.
problem with the other 2 because they signed an undertaking to be here.
Oo nga po,
And then
we're
they're
very sorry
presenting
for
a
that.
medical certificate. And then when I look at their ages, they are young people. Kung senior citizen sana ito, you know, I would be understanding. Pero
Mr. Chairman.
these are young people.
It's more dangerous, Your Honor, for a young person to have a high blood pressure because the blood pressure of Mr. Chong, Your Honor, that is 180 over 80, Your Honor.
Panyero, if it's legal matters, I will listen to you. Pero pag medical, umayaan naman natin, Panyero.
I had a stroke, Your Honor, so I know more or less.
Yeah, but
I'm
Panyero,
aware.
can you now cease speaking because the role of counsel is to advise on constitutional rights. Mr. Kinsper Chong, where are these 2?
Currently po, they're ano po, naka-confine po sila sa hospital.
Confined.
Aha.
But they signed an undertaking,
Opo,
ha?
just last night lang po, emergency lang po. We were expecting them to come din po ngayon.
So ganun lang, I think the Senator Cayetano is just asking for manifestation of cooperation. Your counsel already gave it. Are you too also giving it? Kailangan galing sa inyo eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
About
Chair.
Ms. Chong.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Chair, just you know, the Miss and Mr. Chong here is much younger than us. We know how difficult it is to come over. And yun din ang sinabi namin dun sa Hillmarks, no? Ang problema lang kasi, sir and ma'am, ang mga pangalan nyo kasi nilalagay sa mga korporasyon eh. Di ba? So, kung wala naman pangalan sa korporasyon ng mga anak, ng mga pamangkin, ng magulang na may edad na, hindi kayo ipapatawag sa hearings eh. But the problem is, when we look at the documents, no, may it be sa Hillmarks or may it be in certain of your corporations, your names appear. No, so we know how stressful it is and how difficult it is to come before the Filipino people, come before the Senate. No, but if your names weren't used, we wouldn't have called you. But since your names are there, then you just answer the truth. So if you say ginamit lang ng parents ko yung pangalan or we're really in the business, diba? That's what I think our chairman is saying, that may common sense naman dito eh. Kasi if you come here to just answer the truth, wala tayong problema.
And
No,
Mr.
just
Kim
tell the truth.
Chong, you are listed as the president of Meriras. Tama. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
So you will be the primary resource person about Meriras Realty. Okay, so prepare. Okay.
I think, Mr.
And for all the others, siguro, and then I think the Makati City officials are here. We thank you
Just
for
one
your
question
presence
before we go
also.
to the Regina Capital. The Makati officials, no? Nasubmit nyo po ba lahat ng pinapasubmit sa inyo? Nasubmit na ba?
Sige, please tell us
But anyway, maybe we can confer with the Secretariat. Pwede bago kayo umalis, confer lang. Kasi marami kami pinasubmit eh. Like yung IT plan nyo nun, yung inyong personnel and everything, no? So I just want to make sure that when you're here, not only do you really say that isasubmit, but it really gets to us. Then maybe we can just have one person nakausap sa inyong sa City Hall para documents. Then just put on record. Ayaw nyo i-submit, put the reason why. Kung isa-submit, pakisubmit po. Kung may delay, just write us so that no one makes statements here that sound unreasonable.
But the two engineers, I think, want to make a manifestation that what's your situation right now, Engineer Badillo, Engineer Dela Pena?
Actually, suspended po kami from the office.
Until when, sir? Until when?
6 months so, hanggang
Until
September.
when? Kailan mag-end yung 6 months, sir?
September po.
September pa.
September 15, I think.
Same with Engineer Line de la
Yes.
Peña. And because of that circumstance, you have no access to records, no?
Yes, no.
Okay, but if we need you, please, because especially if you did some acts during a certain period where we need your testimony. Okay? Please? Okay. So they're nodding, but for the record, let the records reflect that they're nodding. So we have here, in the spirit of fairness, Miss Marita Limlingan asked that she be allowed to
speak,
to,
yes.
to react, to speak, because Regina Capital Development was
Yes.
mentioned. We will place her under oath.
May we put them under oath and then may we ask them if they heard the statement so that we can repeat if they haven't heard the statements made. No?
But if you could keep it brief, ma'am, because we have to end around 2 o'clock. But, ma'am, please stand up because the Director General will administer the oath.
Kindly raise your right hand. Here. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may take your seat.
You are assisted by counsel Pañera. Please
yes,
state
Your
your name,
Honors.
Pañera.
Attorney Grace Veronica Reyes, Your Honors, counsel for the Limlingan family.
Including Jerry Limlingan?
For the Limlingan family, Miss Marita.
Not Jerry Lim. Are you counsel for Jerry Limlingan?
Yes,
also?
Your Honors.
You know Jerry Limlingan?
We have been the counsel of the Limlingan family for quite some time. So
Mr. Chair,
including
just before we
Mr.
go
Thank you,
to
Attorney
just
Reyes.
before we go to Marita, can we ask the counsel where is he?
Personally, Your Honor, I do not know.
Okay. Now, we had to ask, kasi you said their counsel, and he has not been seen or cannot be found, and we have an order to bring him to the Senate, Panyara, no?
I understand,
So,
Your Honor.
thank you. Ma'am Marita, can you say your personal circumstances muna, please?
Sir, Your Honor, I am Marita Limlingan, and I am the President and Chairman of Regina Capital, a stock brokerage firm for the past 26 years, a member of the Philippine Stock Exchange.
Have you heard what was spoken? And
I did not really hear it. I was at work. I
Okay.
mean, I was doing other work, but my staff called my attention about
Sige.
it.
Would you like
So
me to clarify so that you can respond?
No, more or less, I have an idea.
Okay.
They
So go
told
ahead,
me
ma'am.
already. I have a prepared statement.
Okay,
May
go
I
ahead,
read
ma'am.
it? So this morning, while I was at work, one of my staff informed me that in the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee hearing on the transaction between the Boy Scouts of the Philippines and Alpha Land, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano claimed that Regina Capital, the brokerage firm owned and operated by my family, was used as a vehicle to cover up a supposed anomalous transaction involving the Vice President Jejomar Binay. I deny Senator Cayetano's accusation in the strongest possible terms. There is absolutely no truth to the accusation that Regina Capital is in any way involved in any illegal activity, more so any attempt to launder money for anyone, including the Vice President. To my knowledge, Regina Capital has never transacted with the Vice President nor his family. I expected that the Senate would have been more circumspect in its action and more respectful of the rights of the people whom it claims to serve. It pains me that the people whom we have elected to protect us and to act as in our best interest would show no hesitation in shaming us and dragging us into a controversy which we have no knowledge of. For this reason, I am authorizing the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange and Philippine Stock Exchange to prove the baselessness of these accusations against Regina Capital. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. Ma'am, can I ask you a first question? No?
Yes.
You said shameless acts, no? Is it a shameless act if the Senate committee or any of its member just narrates certain facts that was testified here in the hearing or reported on the news?
Sir, it was more the
No,
implication.
let's not talk first, ma'am, about this. I'm talking theoretically, no? Is it shameless if a senator simply states a fact? No, a fact that your lawyer is Miss Ganito. My broker is Regina Capital. Is it shameless to just do that?
No.
No, it is not. So I think you or your staff or both of you owe me and this committee an apology. Because obviously, mali yung nireport sa inyo eh. In the last hearing here, it was Secretary Ongpin who said that part of their deal with Mr. Oreta, compensation, the word compensation was used here, but carried interest ang ginagamit ng Noble Care, no, was shares of stock and a part of the deal, no? So as part of the deal ng Boy Scouts of the Philippines who are not here anymore, certain shares of stock of Silvertown? Of Silvertown. Ano yung unang binigay? Silvertown. Shares of Silvertown were given to Noble Care plus 100 million pesos. But later on, there was a deal with Alpha Land to exchange this with Alpha Land shares, no? And it was already in the name of Noble Care. But later on, nung hinahanap na po ito, because nawala po sa kanilang FS, no? Saan siya? Nandito po yung sinabit ng Noble Care sa SEC. Okay? So, hinahanap ko ngayon nasan yung shares. Sabi ko, nasan napunta? Hindi naman pwedeng parang bula na wala. Unless nga may kumikbak, may kumuha. So, ang testimony po ni Mr. Oreta at ni Secretary Ongpin, I'm not that sure now, two of them, It's with the Philippine Depository and Trust Corp. Okay? A few weeks later, Channel 7 came out with a special report saying those Alpha Land shares are with Regina Land, with Regina Capital. Okay? No implications that you did anything wrong. You're a broker. So if someone buys or sells shares or uses you, walang implication yan, ma'am. Okay. So today, I was grilling Noble Care. Na loan ba o hindi? Kasi sinasabi ng Alpha Land, loan yung 100 million. Sabi nila hindi loan, part daw ng compensation. Eh yung FS nila, hindi binook na loan, pero sa Alpha Land, nakalagay sa kanilang disclosure sa PSE that it was condoned. Okay? So, where are we going now? So, I told them, now, when we were looking saan ba napunta, and we have to wait for Mr. Oreta, na saan bang broker, or when we talk about PDTC, what are we talking about? I quoted the Channel 7. Channel 7 said, it's nasa Regina Capital. So, can we invite Regina, if you look at the records, I said, can we invite Regina Capital so that they can shed light? Because who owns or who are part of the leaders or runs Regina Capital? Because Mr. Oreta has been testifying here. Do you know Mr. Oreta, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. He's been testifying that he has nothing to do with the Binays, with these deals with Mr. Limlingan. Suddenly, may joint account siya kay Mr. Limlingan. Do you know that he has a joint account with Mr. Limlingan?
No.
He has a joint account, ma'am, with Mr. Limlingan. Okay? So, the only other statement I said a while ago is that Vic Limlingan. That was the information given, and that was on TV. Now, tell me, how could that be shameless? How could that be an accusation? When I was simply stating a fact na sinundan namin, doon napunta. Did I call you a money launderer? Did I say that ang Regina ay tinataguan ng pera ng no? So if you come here, and saying this shameless, if you came here and say, sir, can you clarify? Can you say, sir, we're not? I'll accept all of that. But for you to accuse me that I'm accusing you, I'm more responsible than that, ma'am. I've always been responsible of our banking system. I've always been responsible. Alam mo yung legacy, alam ko na dati pa yon. But kung bigla nating nilabas, marami pang ibang rural bank. Kaya we had to figure it out behind closed doors kung paano lumabas yung issue na walang ibang depositors na masaktan. So tell me how it could be irresponsible by saying, we're inviting you so that you can shed light. And they can give you the transcript. If you need 30 minutes, go through it. Tell me where in the transcript did I say that your company was doing anything illegal. Then you come here and say that we're shameless and that I'm making baseless accusations. I have not made one single accusation against you. Tell me what accusation I made, ma'am. Eh, nag-chuchu sa inyo yung isa nyong staff, naniwala na kayo kaagad.
May I respond,
Go
sir?
ahead.
Sir, the fact that the name of Regina Capital is being dragged into this matter is already a big hit on our company. There's,
Then, ma'am, then sue Channel 7, ma'am.
Sir, may I just, I think that thing that came out on Channel 7, it did not say that we owned those shares of Alpha Land. What they stated was Regina Capital owned some shares of Alpha Land, not the particular Noble Care shares. It just said that Regina Capital holds shares of Alpha Land.
I did not say you own it too, ma'am. I did not say. You can check the records a while ago. Ma'am, your name was mentioned, Regina Capital. I did not make it up. I did not bring it up. I did not invent this and I know how stressful it is. I know how it is in the financial world. Mr. Chiu is here. He has a publicly listed company. He's going to do the same thing. But how can you come here and accuse us of being shameless, being wild, etc.? Kasalanan ho ba namin na na-bring up? Kasalanan ho ba namin kung si Mr. Limlingan pinasok lahat ito? That you can answer here directly. What is the shares of Noble Care sa Alpha Land? Is it with you in Regina Land or no?
No.
Oh, so that's it. It settles it. Your clients are watching, tapos tayo. But instead of mag-akusahan at magbatuhan tayo ng putek, it's just that simple, ma'am. So are you willing that the PSE look and check if yun nga yung nasa Noble Land na Alpha
Yes.
Land sa inyo? So ma'am, that will settle it. And there's no damage to you, there's no damage to the committee. But don't come barging in here as if, we are hoodlums here that are trying to destroy anyone's reputation. I had the information about Regina Land ever since, because everything about Jerry Limlingan, ni-research namin. Did we ever come out with it before this Noble Care and this Channel 7 came out? Did you barge into Channel 7 and do the same thing to them? Did you tell Mr. Goson, did you tell the Duavits that you're shameless?
Did you take action against Channel 7? No?
Sir, no.
Immediately after the airing of that news report?
No.
So how come theirs is a fair report, and how come by me saying let's invite you and let's ask you if totoo nga na sa inyo Noble Care? You can look at the transcripts, ma'am, but that's the problem, That's why tinanong ko kayo kanina, Gusto nyo ba ulitin ko kung ano nangyari? Di ba? Ang problema, isang staff lang na nakarinig, di ba?
Sir, may I answer? Kasi, sir, just by using the name of a stock brokerage, it's already destroying our reputation. That's why I was really, I was really stressed when I heard it, and that's why I came immediately to the Senate hearing, just to deny all the allegations. I want to say that I don't know anything about it, and to me,
It's very, very, very well taken, ma'am. We're happy you came here right away. We're happy you allowed the PSC to look. We will take your answer at face value. But it's not correct to come here to scold us and to say that we're shameless and the people you elected, etc., because you had no basis to do that. Now, question. Was it wrong for us to mention your name? Your name was mentioned on television. So you mean to say if someone here says X broker or Y broker, no? May pera si... I have the AMLAC report here, no? And when we start talking about, there'll be some brokers there. So do you mean to say that it will be unfair for us to mention them? It's just factual. BDO, kung saan nag-withdraw si Mr. Chiu. Tama, Mr. Chiu, BDO, no? In Caloocan. Oh, would BDO come rushing here? Ano bang malay ng BDO kung ano ang transaction ni Mr. Chiu? As far as they're concerned, he has a publicly listed company. He's transacting. He showed his papers. So I understand, ma'am, kung yan ang dating sa inyo or sa ilan yung kliyente. But that was not our intention. We did not do that. So I think it's unfair naman na papasok kayo, scold nyo kami dito. Para naman kami mga bata na hindi namin. Tingnan nyo yung papeles na to, ma'am. Oh. This morning lang to. 3 kahon pa to kagabi.
Sir, it's just the insinuation. But now that you have clarified it, we're sorry and we take your... I'm sorry for the wrong for this statement that I made. It was just the insinuation.
Your apology is humbly accepted, ma'am. And we are also very concerned kung naapektuhan kayo at yung iba sa PSE. That's why we had the PSE here and we had private dialogues with them kung paano mangyari to na hindi madadamage. But you have made it clear and you can tell your clients that you're a legitimate firm for 26 years and you don't launder and you do not deal with anything illegal, no? And let's just leave it at that. Let's get the PSC to look. Pag sinabing PDITC, saan nilagay? I mean, if the Noble Care is here and they care, Noble Care pa naman yung pangalan, kung sabihin man lang nila, di ba, na kanina, na ma'am, hindi kami sa Regina Capital, dito kami naglagay. Wala tayong problema, ma'am, But they kept on evading. So I hope that settles the issue, ma'am, no? And I will review the transcript. If I think I made an insinuation that was unfair, I will also apologize. But to my knowledge, it was a factual narration of how we will conduct the investigation with no imputation of any wrongdoing to you. First of all, ma'am, if someone places an order or sells stocks with you, you wouldn't know if that it's being laundered for someone or not, diba? You wouldn't know.
No.
If I buy shares and it belongs to Coco, you wouldn't know as long as I sign and everything. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
May I know, Ms. Limlingan, your position in Regina Capital Development Corporation?
Sir, I'm the president and chairman.
You authorize us, no,
Yes.
publicly.
I
But to be-
authorize you to coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange to...
Ay, kung coordination lang, you don't need to authorize us.
Sir, kasi...
What are you authorizing us to do?
To coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange and do an investigation along the guidelines of the exchange.
Regarding your activities, okay?
Whatever is-
Regina Capital, okay.
Yes.
So, but since I was reminded by my staff that since you are a corporation, can you give us a board resolution authorizing you to authorize us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lastly, ma'am, no, you said that you did not know that there is a joint account between Mr. Limlingan and Mr. Ureta, no?
Are you referring to Jerry or
Jerry,
to
Jerry.
Victor?
Jerry
To
Limlingan.
Jerry, yes.
Yes.
I don't
You did not know, yeah.
No.
And you also did you know or do you know that Mr. Jerry Limlingan also has an account with Ebeng Baloloy? And Ebeng Baloloy is only making 30,000 a month, more or less, in Makati, but has been found to have, I think, almost 300 million, 280 million in her accounts. No? You don't no knowledge.
I just know it through the newspaper.
Yes, yes. Just like many of others. So, anyway, ma'am, you might have had the misfortune of having the Limlingan name at this point in
Yes.
time. But it's just like any other name. If there's a Cayetano na Bastos out there, di ba? That's not me. That's not my family. I mean, you're not... Jerry will answer for himself. Despite relationships, you're not Jerry. So we'll let him answer for himself, ma'am. But the links we cannot ignore. But you're free to answer and to clear the name. No, in fact, you don't have to clear the name because we have not accused the Regina Capital of any wrongdoing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just for the record, we have the DNR representatives. Can you state your name, sir, and position?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
When
Your
we will
Honor.
ask you to come back because I think this is in connection with the Comembo property, di ba?
Yes.
Sige, please state your name, sir, and
I'm
position.
Engineer Ignacio Almira Jr. I'm the Chief of the Surveys and Mapping Division in the DNR NCR.
The other one, sir.
I'm Mr. Florencio M. Chavez, former Chief Land Patents, DNR NCR.
We'll ask you to come back. Okay. Mr. Kims for Chong. Irene Chong and Kim Tun Chong are your sister and
My
brother?
siblings po.
Siblings, yeah. Younger?
Older.
Older? But since you hold the accountable position of president in Miriras, tell them not to be not to feel threatened, just to appear to comply with their undertaking to be present.
Yes, sir.
And you will do all the talking because you're the president of Miriras. Okay?
Yes.
But since they made the promise to be present, they should comply. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're sorry for
in the
that,
next-
sir.
in the next hearing, in
It's
the
not
next hearing.
intentional.
So, Mr. Chong, the DNR are here, so they are preparing. So I'm expecting you also to prepare on the Comembo transaction. Okay. So, okay na. So, okay, for the rest, just comply with your undertaking and we will have no problem. Professor Lopez, thank you very much for your 2 consecutive appearances. So, okay, Akowa, do you want to make any report? Wala pa po. But you made some commitment, sir, to submit something, no?
Well, sir, the audit of BSP, we started it, but we referred the matter to our fraud audit office, which is now going over the records.
Okay, so we will just inform you of the date of our next hearing, and I would like to thank each and everyone for your attendance. Just a public announcement that we will now ask that Mr. Laureano Gregorio be...
May I make that motion, Mr. President, that given the numerous times that we have tried to invite, serve the subpoena on Mr. Laureano Gregorio, and since he's the key or one of the key persons who can reveal the truth about the Rosario property, it's what proper that he be held in contempt and brought to the Senate upon the following
The subcommittee
procedures.
will now make the proper recommendation to the mother committee. So once again, thank you very much for your cooperation and for your attendance. Our hearing is hereby suspended.